Welcome to Matters of Decorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. It was suggested to me in a previous video's comments that because some people are freshly discovering the documentary The Dungeon Masters, that I might want to post a video updating what I've been doing since that documentary. That documentary that came out in 2008, 13 years ago. And it does not seem like 13 years. And yet, it was clearly 13 years ago. 2007, 2008 was a fascinating year, and life since then has been interesting. Let's see. My novel writing process did not go well. That novel is available on a couple of platforms. I need to put it up on Amazon. I really, really do. I made it available someplace. It's not my best work. Looking back on it with a decade plus of perspective, I've done better, but it was an interesting slog to get through. If it becomes available on Amazon, this is probably the first place I'm going to actually put that. But with the Single Wish Forever was a learning experience. It got my writing up to speed. What I did with that experience is me and one of my friends, Victor Gibson, sat down and we wrote a role-playing game. I wanted it to be a tongue-in-cheek, kind of humorous, satirical farce, and I found out that I couldn't write short, satirical farces. The unfortunately named Hot Chicks, the role-playing game, came out in 2008, later in 2008, I believe, and turned into this 400-page monstrosity, which I kind of the lore of the world and the I undershot a dystopian future. Go figure. I added aliens and demons and stuff to an urban fantasy world and undershot the dystopia that we would eventually wind up in. So take that for what it's worth. I wrote 200 books, 200 supplements in that series, and basically just stretched out a little bit, worked on my digital art and page layout skills, threw everything together, and that took up a lot of my time. Went to some conventions, both pushing the game or just running games. I've followed every edition of Dungeons and Dragons since then. Did some 4th edition, didn't enjoy it that much, but it was D&D, and it was playable. Not immensely playable, not entirely the fault of the people who wrote it, but I like 5th edition, been running a lot of that. Project-wise, the role-playing game just took up all my time. I got back into doing this YouTube channel, so hello. And around 2010, 2011, rewrote most of the core rules in the game into something a little bit more palatable and family friendly called the Victory System, which is still available. All these available on Drive-Thru RPG. Not a hard search if you're looking for stuff like that. I usually put a link in my comments or my description section here. A generic system of a role-playing game for folks who wanted to do basically just about anything. Tidied everything up, made it a nice compact system. It's not bad. I like running it. I haven't for a while, but I really do enjoy running it. I think I kind of nailed that one. Kept working on art and stuff. Doing the writing, held myself to a really tight schedule. Working with Vic, and in the meantime, just carrying on with weekly, day-to-day gaming stuff. I mean, that's kind of been my career, and you need to stay in that if that's what you're going to be doing. The people that you see me gaming with in the documentary, I have mostly kept up with and game with some of them still. My best friend from the documentary, you may remember Mandy, we lost her. She passed away a year ago. Respiratory issues. Did not see that one coming. Getting ahead of myself. Um, so 2011, put out the Victory system, uh, kept up with stuff, did some travel, family stuff, and at the end of 2015, started feeling a little sluggish, had some swelling in my lymph nodes, thought I would go check that out, and found that I had uh, squamous cell carcinoma. I had developed cancer. Spoiler, I no longer had cancer. 2016 was a blur. I had radical radiation and chemotherapy for 7 weeks. It seems like it was much longer. And was on just a monstrous quantity of fentanyl through most of the year, mostly because of the radiation therapy. There is less of me. Most of the less of me lessened during this period of time. Couldn't eat, couldn't really drink, feeding tube, chemotherapy, exhausted, couldn't really do much, lost 110 pounds in 4 months. Again, I did lose the cancer. A tumor at the base of my tongue in the back. Didn't need to have any surgery done, didn't lose any of the tissue in the tongue, which is basically miraculous. I lost my salivary glands, well, half of them. My beard actually came back. It was amazing that came back. These are not my original teeth. Those had to be removed because all the dentistry that ever had to be done on me for the rest of my life had to be done all at once because my gums are never going to heal again. At this point, I have been holding my head up with muscles that is not designed for that purpose. You will see this in many of my videos for this reason. That is quite the relief. The muscles directly next to my spine in my neck burned away by the radiation, severely damaged, no longer doing their job of supporting my head. The muscles that normally only move the head have been filling in, and they've been doing that for a number of years, and they are tired and worn out. So if you see me in a video wearing this, that's why. Production has slowed down in my life since the cancer. There's a condition known as chemo brain. They do not talk about it much before you are going into chemotherapy. It rarely gets mentioned afterwards unless you say you've got problems with memory and cognition. I've slowed down. There are holes in my brain. They're better than the alternative of being 6 feet under. So it's a cost-benefit analysis. Between the radiation, the chemotherapy, pumping chemicals through my system designed to kill things that has done so systemically and not just the tumor, well, I'm still here. I have continued to write, continued to put out material when I could. My friend Vic moved away, gosh, just a few months ago or a year or so ago. So we don't get the opportunity to work together like we had been. So now I'm just trying to, as I am recording this in April of 2021, I have been in self-isolation since March of 2020. I have had one dose of the Pfizer vaccine. My second one comes a week from Friday, a week from the day this comes out. So by my birthday this year in May, I should be fine to go out and do some celebrating. At last, looking forward to it. But right now, I'm just trying to keep sane. My wife is doing pretty well. She has been working her job as the office manager of the Lamp Point Corporation, the company that owns this building, doing a bang up job of it. She has been knocking it out of the park every day. And this pandemic situation has been difficult on her, but Anna is no slouch in a crisis. She has been showing us all how it needs to be done. Let's see, other people around me in the documentary. My father, who appeared briefly in the documentary, we lost him in 2011 to a cardiac event. Miss him every day. The little boy you see as my son in the documentary, Andrew, my son, this cute, adorable little boy with his toys and his enthusiasm. He turned 20 at the beginning of this month. He's studying automated machining. Um, he spends his days at the moment. His college basically shut down. Their online courses were not really for the program that he's in, so he has been in isolation with me for the past year. He has been mastering 3D printing during this time. We've been doing some projects together. I like me a little 3D modeling, and he likes the physical aspect of it, so that has worked out. I have a son who is a damn fine man, and I do not deserve the quality of person that I have been spending time with. I have no idea how I got a kid quite so good. So he spends his days studying 3D printing, spending time with his friends online, and making me a very proud father all at the same time. He built the computer that, that I am recording this on. This is the game server that I have with my Wednesday night group. We have been gathering online, playing online games. And that's my life at the moment. I still write. I still produce things, not quite as quickly. I have a Patreon uh, for folks who want to give me some support as I go about things. We have a Discord, and I enjoyed chatting with the folks on there, and they occasionally get mentions and have pretty quick access to me when they need it. I'm doing podcasts with another group called the Layer Action. You can find information about them at thelayeraction.com. We're just months away from finishing up our first full production show, Days of Our Monks. And we should be going to video production eventually, maybe in another year or so. We have some audio content still to produce and get out. That group, I do 5th edition D&D with them for the most part, occasionally diversions from that. And that's just everyone in it half my age. And, and keeps me on my toes. I started a gaming group with a group from the friendly local gaming store. We started off doing a 0 to 20 D&D 5e campaign in a homebrew world of mine, and still I took a break from that for a little bit, but I'm back in. Someone else is running at the moment. That group had at the most, at its largest, between 12 and 14 people at the table when I was running, which is insane. I've always said that the ideal group's about 3 or 4 people. 5 or 6 is doable. 7 or 8's ridiculous. Anything more than that, you're not playing D&D or just yelling at each other. But we made it work. A good group helps a lot. What else? I mean, there have been a number of gaming groups, some of which have fallen by the wayside. Just can't get everyone together online in these times. Or folks have moved away, or some have passed away. It is 13 years, and an awful lot can happen in that amount of time. More so, I'm realizing as I'm talking about this. I'm sure there are things I have missed. There's a lot. It's been a fascinating life. I am busy every day, trying to push my own creativity. 3D modeling and digital art, writing, game design, studying Unreal, the Unreal Engine, which is fascinating and well above my actual capability. But, if I keep pushing, maybe I'll get there. So if you're watching this, thank you very much for your interest. And I do this once a week-ish, kind of, during good times, mostly. Um, Matters of Decorum is my vlog where I discuss mostly gaming-related issues. I will occasionally thinly veil modern issues in my gaming analogies, but occasionally food or some other opinion. I try not to get too political here because why would I bother? I have fantasy worlds in which I can freely discuss the elements of society without having to engage with the real world that much. So here I am. This is what it has been. Again, thank you for your interest if you watched this far. Um, if you've enjoyed following along on this journey through what I have been doing for the past nearly decade and a half, go ahead and throw me a like. If it's not quite the thing you're looking for and you're upset by listening to me ramble on, go ahead and give me a dislike. Feedback is feedback. If you have any questions for me, any commentary you'd like to make about the documentary or questions about it, any subject you'd like to hear me cover, or things you'd like to hear me discuss, leave me a comment below. I will love getting your comment and you will love leaving me one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I can absolutely understand why you haven't, but you might want to think about it. If you do end up subscribing to the channel, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when my videos become available. I mentioned before I have a Patreon. If you think you would be interested in helping support what I do here on this channel and some of my other creative endeavors, I invite you to hit me on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottCorum. Consider donating. Absolutely anything helps, allows me to make better videos more often. I also, at this point, I'm going to invite you to visit thelayeraction.com and see if that content is appealing to you. Days of Our Monks has been an amazing trip. I started off to run a very thinly veiled pastiche of Enter the Dragon in D&D, and my players turned it into a soap opera, and it has worked so well. One of my favorite experiences as a dungeon master to date. That being said, thank you very much for watching. I'm Scott Corum. This is what has mattered to me. I'll see you next time, I hope, on Matters of Decorum.